All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, live from the studio, LTLTE, Learn to Love to Exercise. My name is Linda Turgison. I am here with my dear client, Peggy Vance. And Peggy, really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview today. And just want to go through and, ask you some questions about your experience working with me, being in the New Me Academy, any wins that you want to share for the audience. So yeah, thanks again for your time. We'll dive right in, Peggy. How does that
All
sound?
right.
You ready?
I am.
All right, awesome. So Peggy, first question is, tell me a little bit about how you were feeling before we started working together, how life was, really more about your feelings, how you were with your health and overall wellness.
Well, I was having trouble with my knees, and I have multiple stairs in my house, and I didn't go a day without having pain walking up and down those stairs, and actually in my feet as well. And I wasn't walking very much, a couple days a week maybe, but now I am walking 5 to 6 days a week and doing between 5 and 10,000, many days lately, over 10,000 steps a day. And my knees aren't hurting and my feet aren't hurting anymore. And my clothes are fitting better. So it's all good all the way around.
That's awesome. So no more pain in the knees or the feet.
No.
And the clothes fit better.
Yes.
And you went from walking like maybe 2 days to 5 days.
Yep.
Wow. And lots of steps, over 10K steps a day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of steps. I got to look out for you when I come driving down the road and see if I
Right.
Yeah. Anything else that about how you were feeling before we started, like any other aches and pains or feelings about your health?
Not really aches or pains, but definitely a little more sluggish. I have a little more energy than I did before, and I attribute that to getting up and moving around more and working my legs and my body more than I was, definitely. So I just, overall, my body feels better. I feel more alert. And like I said, I've got more energy, which I'd have to have more energy to be doing more walking, right?
Yeah. No, that's great. The exercise, that helps bring up the energy for sure.
Definitely.
Now, how did we connect, you and I, originally?
Well, you had a client, well, actually a couple of clients, Vicky and Brenda, who had been with you and were doing very well through your program. And we had talked before about different programs we tried. In fact, we did the whole 30 together about a year ago. And they said how happy they were with the progress they were making with you and suggested that I give you a try. So first I started with the challenge and then went right into the New Me. And the difference was with the New Me, you have a lot of the educational components in it. And I love all the motivational posts that you put on Facebook. I love the group shares. So yeah, it was a good connection. And for a little while I was doing it with Vicky and Brenda, and now they're actually walking partners once a week. So that's been nice as well.
Awesome. Yeah, they did amazing. They did amazing, both of them in the New Me. So I'm so glad that we all connected because
Me too.
found me with a Google search. So it's amazing what Google can do for us.
Right.
So what was that moment when, because I know we talked and then you started with the challenge, what made you say yes ultimately to yourself and prioritize you and your health, in a different way this time? Because I don't believe you had worked with a coach before, right? You had tried a lot of different things.
No, I'd never worked with a coach, and I was hesitant all the way through signing the agreement, but because I tried so many other things and spent so much money on trainers and programs before. But after talking to Vicky and Brenda and hearing how happy they were and talking to you, I just decided it was time to take the plunge and go in new directions. So it's been very beneficial, and I've learned a lot through the process.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about what you tried before in the past.
Weight Watchers more than once. As I mentioned earlier, Whole30. I had been told to talk to a dietitian and they suggested intermittent fasting, which I went down about 10 pounds with that, but then I plateaued and I didn't really do anything else. So that wasn't really the answer. And what I found with all the others is they limit you so much in the foods that you can have, it's not sustainable.
Right.
And the other things I've done is I've worked with trainers at gyms. My son worked with me for a while and he's a drill sergeant. He's kind of like the Biggest Loser kind of a guy, even though he's my son.
Yeah.
Probably the meanest trainer I've worked with, but it all comes down to we have to be ready for ourselves, and you helped me get there.
Awesome. Awesome. So you've obviously tried a lot before. And so you had like some success kind of up and down type of thing?
Oh yes, I've lost hundreds of pounds through the years. They find me, I keep losing them, they come back. But I feel this time is different because I'm learning more about how to sustain and how to continue losing and do it in a healthy way. So It's not like a fad thing where I lose 20 or 30 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a slow, steady process, but I'm down over 25 pounds. So,
woo! 25 pounds. Yay. That's awesome. That's
a great thing.
Yeah. I know once you started the challenge, you really hit it hard and you did amazing in there. And I'm so glad we continued so that you could continue keeping on losing that weight and really sustaining it. And I mean, that's my goal, is to set my clients up for long-term sustainability and educating you so you know what to eat, and at the same time not restricting you from, not having bread, not having pasta and things like that, but instead having different foods in moderation.
Which is different from a lot of programs. I mean, they do restrict you from especially pastas and whether it's differentiated between white flour or wheat flour, which the healthier way obviously is wheat or whole grain. But that's what I've appreciated about this program, is just staying within my limits, but being able to eat pretty much anything. And sometimes it's hard to even get up to the points that you need to get up to fill your calories, but it's all good, wholesome, delicious food. So it's all good.
And you haven't been starving?
No, definitely not.
I personally don't like to starve, and I don't like to see anybody else starve or go hungry or anything either. So that's so you've lost 25 pounds, no more pain in your knees, in your feet, clothes are fitting better, you're more alert, you have more energy, you've learned a lot. Anything else?
I like the additional things that you do. I like the posts that you do throughout the week for positivity and connections and shares. I like sharing with the group. And I do like the sessions that we have where we have other people doing the program with us and we get to share with each other. I love the yays and the celebrations when somebody hits a milestone or try to help them when they're having a rough day. And I love doing the meditation. That was an extra component that you had added in, and I like that.
Yeah.
Tried the yoga and a variety of exercises for upper body, lower body, stretching. So it's a lot of information, a lot of tools to help you succeed.
Yes, awesome. And you tried everything.
I did.
Which is good. Yeah. And what else? So you're obviously feeling better. What would you say as far as like spending time on everything? Do you feel like it was time consuming?
A bit at first, just because it's you need to get your head squared into it. You think you have goals, but until you start answering some of the questions that you pose to us and some of the projects that we do, I think it's hard to hone in on what the real goal is and what your real purpose behind all of this is. And once you hit that, it's easier to move forward with it and continue on. But walking, I mean, normally I walk somewhere between a half an hour to an hour, depends on the day, who I'm walking with and where I'm going. If I'm doing trails where I'm up and down, it's going to be a shorter walk than if I'm walking flat. So you can kind of adjust it to your needs and your schedule.
Yes.
And you can do some food prep where it works for a couple meals. And so, yeah, I mean, there's time put into it, but if you enjoy other things, you put time into that. So why not? You're
That's,
putting time into
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. You choose what you want to prioritize, right? You choose what you want
Yes,
to spend your time on. Yeah. We all
exactly.
have time for what's important to us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And what else? What do you feel like? So the community you feel has been an important aspect of this.
Yes. And I like the videos that you've done showing how to do the exercises instead of just flipping charts at us, which a lot of people do. So you can actually see how to make the movements. You move around so we can see it at different angles, which is very helpful, especially for people that have bad backs or legs or anything like that, where you have problems. And you're willing to work with us and figure out other routines to try if something does bother us. So that's very helpful.
Awesome. What else? Like, what about like working with me overall? How is the
Well, you
process?
exude energy and enthusiasm, and you have provided positive energy and direction, shared inspirational stories, encouraged positive shares, like I said, and support for each other, which is huge.
Yeah.
And you do provide helpful and interesting educational components. And that is another time factor, but it's not a big deal. And going back and reviewing them is helpful as well, because I've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
And like I said, the great examples for the workouts. And I enjoyed the intro to meditation, so I can kind of calm in an otherwise loud world, even though we can't get out and about. Sometimes you're too loud just in your own space. So
Right.
that's been nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
You.
I'm so happy of how far you've come and how you're feeling. Do you feel like you're less stressed or sleep better or anything like that? Has it affected any of that for you?
For me, sleep's never been a problem. I love to sleep, but I usually sleep 6 to 7 hours, then I'm up. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I get up about the same distance of time.
Yeah.
But I think I'm sleeping more restfully.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helpful. And I think that's because I'm getting out and doing physical exercise and
Yeah.
moving around
Out
more.
to the fresh air.
Yeah.
And all those steps. Yeah. Then you're like, okay, ready for some rest and relaxation.
Definitely. And like I said, it was nice, even though the only people that I knew at the beginning, and that was just the beginning, was Vicky and Brenda. I've met a lot of people along the way that have shared their struggles and their successes and their ideas, which has been nice. And meal sharing pictures of meals and recipes is nice, because that's very helpful. I mean, it's one thing to know you have to have healthy foods, but if you eat the same thing every day, it gets boring. So the more you can have variety, the better. So that's been really nice. And just having that community, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A community, I think, is very helpful. You know that you're not alone, and you have somebody else to cheer you up and cheer you on and encourage you along the way. Yeah.
And like I said, I like your postings that you do throughout the week for sharing and caring and wins. You know, the wins that we have, whether it's you lost 2 pounds or you walked an extra mile or you ran instead of walking or did an exercise that was different, challenged yourself in some way.
Yeah.
So it's nice to share that and just kind of get encouragement through that. Watching other people succeed, it helps you stay motivated to do it yourself.
Yes, yes, yeah. We can always learn something from others, and it's nice to have different inspirations on this journey, because it isn't an easy journey all in all. So
no, it's not.
So for anyone that's considering, getting support, what advice would you give them?
I would say if you've been on the weight loss roller coaster, give it a try. It's definitely worth it. It will help you define your goals and get a clear vision. Mindset is important, as we've been told a few times. And that's true. And once you have that mindset and you have goals in place, whether they're short-term, long-term, both, it's truly important. And just really knowing what your reason is for doing this. And you help us get to that point, which is wonderful.
Yes. I'm so happy for you. So amazing. Anything else you want to add? I think I've asked you everything I wanted to ask.
No, I can't think of anything. I wrote some notes, but I think we've gone through most of it. Well, and the accountability, that would be the other thing that's part of the components is you were always there to support us, but you kept us on track and you kept us accountable. And if we forgot to do something, you'd send out a gentle reminder and let us know you didn't forget, even though we did. And you may not want to post certain things that you have to post. It's a little uncomfortable at the beginning, but then as you get going and you start seeing numbers go down or see your steps rise, or then you're excited to share. So that becomes easier and less painful as time moves forward.
Yeah, and it's ultimately all about getting out of our comfort zone, because if we always do the same thing, we're obviously going to stay the same. So the more we can change things up, and that is hard at first and it is uncomfortable. But the more we do that and we break through, then everything gets a little easier as time goes. So
yes, and you know how hesitant I was at the beginning to be posting those things.
yes,
so.
yes. And everybody is, little things are like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they do it and they're like, hey, that wasn't so bad after all. And then you just learn, because there's a lot of other ways in life that it's like, okay, you got to get out of your comfort zone. So this helps you do that as well. So
definitely.
yeah.
Well, I thank you for all your encouragement, all your help, and helping me shed all this weight and learning how to continue the road to a lesser me and better me, and onward and forward.
Yeah, you've got to keep me posted, Peggy. And I think you've done amazing. I'm really proud of you. And you've been persistent and staying with it, and just keep going. And you know that I'm always here for you. And for anyone who's listening here, if you want to learn more, let me know, and I'll post the link to book a free call with me and see if how I can help you. So thank you, Peggy. I'll end the live here, and I really appreciate you, and I wish you the very, very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks everyone for watching. Give some love to Peggy. Bye.